Yes, that was good. Oh, hi guys. Sorry, I just came back from the fourth dimension. That I forgot to tell you guys. Yeah, that's right. This is the portal to the fourth dimension that I use every time to go to solve 4D puzzles. That's good meeting you, actually. Yeah. I've got so much things to tell you guys. Wow. They're giving me home these nice gifts. And today I'm going to just talk about what I've learned. So, yeah, like I said, guys, I had a good day today in the fourth dimension. I solved many puzzles. Now I'm back in the third dimension just for a little visit, just to show you what I've done so far. They've given me a nice little gifts. They've given me a tesseract, like a little tesseract. It's frozen in time because, it doesn't rotate. This can be only rotated in the fourth dimension. And they've also given me a Rubik's tesseract. I can take home a Rubik's tesseract as well. This is actually a 2x2x2x2. Give me a nice puzzle to take home with me from the fourth dimension. They've designed this in such a way where I could actually use this as a 4D puzzle, and they've given me the exact moves, and they've given me a certain set of rules of what does what. Now I can just freely take this home, and I can take a whole 4-dimensional 2x2 home with me, and I can play with it, which is really good, because I can actually use this as a 4D puzzle, but keeping it in 3 dimensions. Wow, this is amazing. And like, oh wow, they've told me that this is rotating in 4 dimensions. And then they've also told me this. This is also rotating the puzzle in 4 dimensions as well, but it's changing the outside stickers, and it's like crazy. Like it's amazing. I can take these puzzles home. I can take the 4-dimension home with me. So yeah, I've also learned techniques on how to solve 4-dimensional puzzles while just keeping it in my understanding of 3 dimensions, which is crazy. It's amazing what I've learned so far. I've also managed to solve a 4-dimensional 3x3. I've also managed to solve a 4-dimensional 4x4, and I've also managed to solve a 4-dimensional 5x5. And I can't believe I could solve them. It's a huge achievement that I've ever done. And they've also put me on the Hall of Fames for those puzzles, and they've put me on Hall of Fame for this puzzle. I've got no words to say. It's been amazing. It's been absolutely brilliant learning these puzzles. But what do I have here? Is this a portal of some sort? Let's see if I can get the frequencies right. Oh, I'm seeing something. Oh. 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 Alright guys, this is MC5D. This is a 5-dimensional Rubik's Cube. It is a 3x3x3x3x3, or 3 to the 5 if you want to call it that way for short. There's also MC7D, but for this vid I'm going to go over MC5D and tell you what I understand so far. You might be thinking, can Espy solve this puzzle? Unfortunately, I have no idea on how to solve this puzzle. I understand dimensional analogies, and I have played with this puzzle a bit, but I have never solved a 5-dimensional puzzle. But I will tell you my understanding so far and probably show you my journey of solving this puzzle, because my goal is to one day solve this puzzle and give you my understanding on how to understand 5 dimensions. Alright, so let's get started, shall we? So, the 3 to 5 tesseract? No, we are now in 5 dimensions. The 5-dimensional name for a cube is a pentaract, and so a 3 to the 5 pentaract is the name for this puzzle. I like to sort of go over what I understand so far and be sort of the start of my journey to understand this puzzle. So, the sides on this puzzle. Since now we're up one dimension, so I understand 4 dimensions, but now we're in 5 dimensions. This puzzle has a total of 10 sides. There's an extra 2 sides. Because in 4 dimensions we have 8, and in 3 dimensions we have 6. So going to 3 to 4 dimensions is 2, which is 8 sides, and going 4 to 5 is another 2 sides, which makes it 10 sides. So there's 10 sides on this puzzle. So let's go back to 3 dimensions. So we're looking at a 3-dimensional 3x3. You can see on a 3-dimensional 3x3 we have 6 sides, and those are 2-dimensional sides of white color. So we have a white 2-dimensional square, we have a blue 2-dimensional square, and then we have a red 2-dimensional square. So those are the sides on a 3-dimensional Rubik's Cube, and they are 3x3 squares. So now let's go up to 4 dimensions. So now we're at 4 dimensions, so we've gone up a dimension. Look at this, and this is a 3x3x3x3, or 3 to the 4. Now, since we've gone up a dimension, we add 2 more sides. Now this makes it 8 sides. Now the sides are now called cells. The 8th one in this projection is hidden, so what we can do is we do this, and it's over here. So there's 8 sides on this puzzle, which we call cells now, because the cells are now the sides. Now each cell is one, like we said before in the 3-dimensional 3x3, that these are now is one 3x3x3 cube of one color. So now we're not looking at squares of one color, we're looking at cubes of one color. So basically, typically a force cube, as you will. So we've got yellow, we've got orange, we've got white, we've got red, we've got purple, we've got blue, and we've got green. And we've also got pink, which is over here, but it's in the 4th dimension. So we'll put that back. So that is that. So a side or cell on a 4-dimensional Rubik's Cube is a 3-dimensional side. So it's a whole 3x3 cube instead of a 3x3 square. Now we're going to go up a dimension one more time. Now they're not called sides. Are they called cells? No, they aren't called cells. They're actually called hypercells, because each one of these cells is not a 3-dimensional cube like you see on MC4D. These cells are hypercells, so they are 4-dimensional sides. If we turn off some sides, and I'll show you what I mean. So looking at this puzzle, if I just take away a few sides, you can see this is a full, so this green side here, or green hypercell, this side is a force cube. Not a force cube, force tesseract. So it's a force 4-dimensional, I guess, 3 to the 4. Just like on your MC4D, when you look at MC4D, you can see that these sides are cubular. But now we're in 5 dimensions, this whole tesseract is one color, like this. So this is a 4D side, I guess, of the 5D cube with an MC4D perspective. And so now you can see that this is a 4-dimensional side on a 5-dimensional Rubik's Cube. And so this whole thing is essentially the same as that green side, which is here. That is one green tesseract. So now let's turn these other sides on. So there's a, I guess, turquoise tesseract. There's a pink tesseract. There's a, I guess, purpley tesseract. Let's say Espy tesseract. There's a white tesseract. There's a, I don't know, burgundy tesseract. And there's an orange tesseract right in the middle. So this has 10 tesseracts, and they're all connected with each other. And instead of moving like cubes on the 4-dimensional puzzle, you can see how that moves, does a cube rotation there. These tesseracts will be tesseract rotation. So going back on the 4-dimensional side, on the 5D cube, the moves on this 4D side would be tesseract rotations. Just like this. They will also rotate like this, basically like a whole Y move, or a whole X move, or a whole Z move. So it could be moves like that. There can also probably be moves like a corner, I guess, oriented move, like that, or an edge oriented move. That's what I think that this whole 4-dimensional side would turn on this 5D cube. So if I turn off some sides, this here, so you can click on one of these like this, so you can go and you can do a move like that, right? That is essentially just doing the same thing here. So if we go to the MC40 and go to do this, right? It's just essentially doing that, right? But now looking at the 4-dimensional side on the 5D cube again, that move would actually be like that. So it'll be going like that. And it'll be basically bringing one of the, I guess, 5-dimensional sides and bringing it around. I'm not entirely sure. But I was bringing one of the sides and bringing it to this side there. So it's basically that whole Y rotation. Visually, I guess it will look similar to doing this. But for this 4D hypercell, I don't think it will do that at all. I think it will do a whole rotation like that. But instead of moving it like that, like moving it around like that, how a 4-dimensional cube will rotate, it will also turn like this. Now you can see that that piece has gone from the 5th dimension and is now on there. That move I just did on the 5D cube is literally just doing this. So it's doing a tesseract rotation like that. And so it's kind of bringing one of the 5-dimensional sides and it's bringing it out to show on that side that was sort of like on that side of the 5D cube. So that's what I think that is happening. If I turn that side back, so that's technically a control click of the left cell of this green hypercell, which is quite scary. But that is what I think it is. So that is how these sides behave. So that will make it so that if you do this move here, that is control clicking on the sort of back cell. But we won't go too much into detail with that. So there's basically 10 of those sides and they all move like tesseracts and they all rotate like tesseracts instead of cube sides. So that is that. So now we're up a dimension again. We'd like to go over the pieces of this puzzle and what I think the pieces are. It's now in 5 dimensions, or dimension up from 4 dimensions. There's a new piece type, and that is the 5C, the 5-colored piece, or a piece with 5 colors. And so that is a new piece type. Now, if you isolate the 5Cs, so if I turn off 1Cs, these 2Cs, 3Cs, 4Cs, we basically have just isolated the 5Cs. Now this right here is essentially a 2 to the 5, because we've turned off all those other stickers, right? This is basically a 2 to the 5 puzzle. And so it's like if you take a 3x3, a normal 3-dimensional 3x3 cube, and you basically, if you took away the centers, if you took away the edges, you just get the corners, right? And they're the 3Cs. And so that is a 2x2, like a normal 3-dimensional 2x2, right? Same thing as what we did here. We took away the 4Cs, we took away the 3Cs, we took away the 2Cs, and we took away the 1Cs. We're now left with the 5Cs, or the 5-colored pieces. And that is looking at this now, is a 5-dimensional 2x2. So if you look around, and it still looks quite intimidating, and I wouldn't have an idea on how to solve this 5-dimensional 2x2, but that is what the 5Cs are. So they're just the corners on the 5-dimensional Rubik's Cube. So that's the 5Cs. Now if I hide 5Cs, these are all the 4Cs, these are all the 3Cs, these are all the 2Cs, and these are all the 1Cs. The 1Cs are always pieces like the centerpiece. And so these are technically your 5-dimensional centerpieces on these sides. So let's just turn all the pieces on. So that is pieces. Now you can also shift and move your mouse cursor over them, and it tells you what the colors are. But that also will probably take a bit more study for me to actually understand what the sides these are attached to. So if I turn these back on again, like that, and if I hold down Shift key and I just put my mouse cursor on these pieces, if I did this right, that is the burgundy, red, purple, and yellow. So there's a 4C, right? So I'm not going to go too much into that. So that is the pieces on this puzzle, and they are there's quite a lot of them on this puzzle. So that's the pieces, and the stickers on this puzzle you would notice from the MC40. The MC40 here, you can see on the MC40 these are cubist stickers. So you can see on here, these are all cube. All these stickers are cubes. Like on 3 dimensions you have squares, right? 4 dimensions you have cubes, but in 5 dimensions you have tesseracts. Look at these stickers are tesseracts. You can kind of see them there. So you see how if I zoom in like that, they are tesseracts, and that's the stickers on them, and they're all tesseracts. So is the sides as well. So all the sides and stickers are tesseract. So we're going to look at the scrambled state of this puzzle. Scramble full. You can see that this puzzle is quite a mess, and I have no idea on how we'll go about solving this, and I have no idea on my strategy on how to solve this. This looks crazy, and you can kind of see. Does this look familiar to my introduction video? Well, it actually is, because I actually did use this program to make my introduction video, and I kind of just did that kind of thing. So yeah, this is a very cool puzzle. It's probably going to be very hard, and I probably will have no clue on how to solve it just as of yet. But I reckon one day I might sit down and I might figure out how am I going to go about solving this. But that time will come. So that's the solved state. Back in the solved state right there. And so yeah, so there's the 5-dimensional Rubik's Cube or 5D Pentaract. And that's what I know so far of this puzzle. And I don't know any algorithms. Like I said, I don't know any algorithms. I don't know anything else of that. Just how the sides move. There's 10 sides. Basically the dimensional analogy of this puzzle. So yeah. So thanks for watching. I hope you enjoyed it. Don't forget to like and subscribe. And I'll see you guys next time.